Colonial history of Comoros and the struggle for independence. Nestled between Madagascar and the East African coast lies the island nation of Comoros, a land of volcanic peaks, turquoise waters, and a history shaped by centuries of colonial rule. But behind its beauty lies a story of resistance, resilience, and revolution. In this video, we'll explore the colonial history of Comoros, examine how class struggles influence the fight for independence, and highlight the often overlooked contributions of women, youths, and ordinary people in the liberation movement. Comoros was not always a French colony. For centuries, it was part of the Swahili Coast trading network, deeply connected to Arab, African, and Persian cultures. But in the late 19th century, France began asserting control over the islands. By 1912, Comoros was officially annexed as a French colony, governed under the broader framework of French Madagascar. The French imposed a system of plantation agriculture, exploiting local labor to grow vanilla, cloves, and ilang-ilang, commodities that enriched European traders while keeping locals in poverty. Class structure under colonial rule. Under colonial rule, Comoros was divided along strict class lines. At the top were French administrators and a small group of local elites who collaborated with the colonial regime. The majority of the population, peasants, laborers, and fishermen, was subjected to heavy taxation, forced labor, and land dispossession. This economic inequality created fertile ground for resistance among the working classes, who would later become the backbone of the independence movement. Seeds of resistance. By the mid-20th century, nationalist ideas began spreading across Africa. In Comoros, early political groups like the Democratic Rally of the Comorian People, RDPC, emerged, led by figures such as Ahmed Abdallah. These movements were not just about ending colonial rule, they were also about challenging the class hierarchies that had been reinforced under French domination. Role of women. Women played a central role in sustaining communities and resisting colonial oppression. They worked on plantations, ran markets, and managed households, all while facing gendered exploitation. Many women participated in underground networks, spreading information and supporting activists. Others organized protests against unjust taxes and conscription. Though often excluded from formal politics, their daily resistance kept the flame of independence alive. Youth and students. Youths and students became a powerful force in the push for independence. Inspired by global movements in Algeria, Kenya, and Vietnam, young Comorians studied abroad and returned with radical ideas about self-determination. Within the islands, students formed clandestine groups, distributed pamphlets, and led demonstrations calling for an end to colonial rule. Their energy and idealism helped galvanize broader segments of society into action. Ordinary people and grassroots mobilization. Beyond political leaders and intellectuals, it was ordinary people, farmers, fishermen, traders who carried the weight of the struggle. Some refused to pay colonial taxes or work on French-owned farms. Others supported rebels hiding in the forests. Still, others preserved cultural traditions that resisted assimilation. Their collective actions made it impossible for the French to maintain full control even before formal independence. Path to independence. On July 6, 1975, Comoros declared independence from France. Ahmed Abdallah became the first president of the newly sovereign nation. However, independence did not bring immediate peace or unity. Political divisions, regional tensions, and continued foreign interference complicated the transition. Yet the dream of self-rule fueled by decades of grassroots struggle had finally become a reality. Legacy of the struggle. The legacy of Comoros' independence struggle is complex. While formal colonialism ended, many of the same class inequalities persisted under new rulers. But the courage of women, youth, and ordinary people who stood up against the empire remains a vital part of Comorian identity. Understanding this history through a class lens reminds us that true liberation is not only about political sovereignty, but also about economic justice and social transformation. From the shores of Grande Comore to the hills of Anjouan, the people of Comoros have always fought for dignity and freedom. Their story is not just one of the past, it continues to shape the future of the nation today. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through Comoros' untold history. Drop your comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe as we continue to explore the stories that shaped Africa's past and future. Together, let's celebrate the legacies that define us. Until next time, stay critical and keep questioning.